Hey VC community, this is Tim Eaton at Tim Eaton's Vinyl Vengeance, and I am going to share some vinyl. Surprise, surprise. I got some stuff in today and the last few days and figured I would do a share out. Don't know how long this will take. Try not to go over an hour. Just kidding. Won't be that long. We'll get right to it. First new acquisition is a band that I've seen this album posted online, but I'm not familiar with them. They are a US death metal band, Primal Code, Opaque Fixation. This is, I believe, their first release from Relapse Records. It says on the hype sticker that, yes, debut, Chicago death metal trio featuring members of Indian. I've heard of Indian. I don't know any of their music. I always thought they were maybe like a stone or doom band. I have no idea, but you can see color goes pretty well with the cover. I think that's a good matchup. I always prefer, if there's going to be color to the vinyl, that it has some, kind of goes with the coloration of the motif of the album cover. Sometimes that's hit or miss. Next up is a band. I know that this is not an OG, but the OG goes for a good amount of money. This is a European band, Dutch, and this is an EP. It is City AD Mortis. The band is Defender, and I'm glad that this was repressed. I think this is the first time it's been repressed. It's Hammerheart Records, who do a bang-up job on re-releasing older vinyl, and definitely look forward to listening to this. I'm not familiar with the band, but I know that this EP is highly regarded, and I did get a colored variant, clear yellow with orange splatter, which again goes very well with the yellow and orange of the dragon creatures on the cover. See, I think this is just a normally I think it was a five track EP, but there's some bonus tracks on it. So 2025, The Lady Vanished, Moloch, and Heaven on Your Mind. I do not know. I'm thinking that is new tracks, because down on the bottom here it does say 1987 through /2025, and it's got the band members, so it seems as though the original band members got together and laid down some new music, which is awesome. Makes that a good even better than tracking down for hundreds of dollars the original. Another band that I've not listened to, but I've been familiar with through metal magazines. I remember seeing this advertised in the 90s. This is Invocator, and they could be Dutch too. I can't remember which country. This looks like a full-on death metal extravaganza, and it is not. This is more thrash. They might have little elements of maybe little elements of death, but I'm pretty certain vocally, instrumentally, this just kind of lies in the thrash metal realm. And this is their second album, Weave the Apocalypse, also recently released on Hammerheart Records. And again, another color variant of gold. Works well enough with that cover. And Dan Seagrave album artwork, which gives it that death metal look, but I love his artwork. But again, this is more thrash. Yet another band that I have no material from. My friend Joe every once in a while comes up with their 80s albums. They're starting to get a little pricey. I've just not bit on any of them yet, but they got back together and released a new album, and according to the hype sticker, it's been 40 years. It is Heavy Load, and this is a 2023, so it's new to me, but not brand new. This is, don't know how many of the original members. I would imagine one or two. Very cool artwork. And No Remorse Records. Hype sticker says, come back after 40 years. 8-page booklet. So just good traditional metal. And if I enjoyed this enough, I'll probably go back and track down their their original EP, and I think they had 2 full lengths from the 80s, late 80s. This just came in today. I have this on CD, a new reworked cover, a band that has been going back and re-releasing their albums on record. So I've got their first one, second one recently repressed, and then some of their more newer stuff, their more metalcore stuff has been pressed on vinyl. But this one was one I wasn't sure they were ever gonna do, and it is Living Sacrifice Inhabit. And I never really, this album was probably one of the lesser ones that I enjoyed. I know this has been remastered, maybe even reworked a little bit. So I am looking forward to giving this a spin. I love the first one. It's just a hard edge thrash album, and then their second release was more death metal. This is gonna lie more in the death metal realm. And then after this one with Reborn, they started having more of a new metalcore sound, which I love. I love any of their albums, but definitely looking forward to giving this touched up album a spin and see how it sounds on vinyl. All right, next up, my friend Ron, who I've done a video, 1 or 2 videos now for some stuff that I've purchased from Ron Haggerty. He is one of my buddies that is part of GTR Rock Realm. Actually, I believe he started that up, and so there's a group of us. I've kind of worked my way in there. Double T now, because there's, the other Tim. But Ron's been selling off some of his records to make way for new stuff, and also to help just come up with some money for some ministry things that he wants to do, some coursework and purchasing some Bibles, which I think is awesome. So yeah, I've been buying a few records from him, and I got a package in and would like to share what I got. This is my first time pulling these out. Already did the slice of the package. And so some 70s hard rock, maybe a little bit of southern rock. Point Blank, I do have their first self-released on CD. I've given it a few, maybe 2 or 3 spins through the years, but I've got a friend who's a guitar player who says his one of his main influences is the guitar player from this band. So I was like, oh, I need to dig a little deeper into Point Blank. So this, I believe, is their second album, released in 1997. So this would be a OG copy. I don't think there were too many later pressings from this band. And then this next one from the same band, Point Blank, The Hard Way. I believe this is a 4th release. And this one, a couple of years later, I don't have my glasses on, I believe this is 1980. Again, kind of what you would expect from some Southern boys, just a little bit of Southern rock, hard rock. All right, next up is not metal and is not hard rock. Some of you out there might recognize that. If you were listening to alternative music in the late 80s, early 90s, into industrial, you'll know Skinny Puppy. And this is, I don't know, maybe their 4th album, 4th release, I'm guessing, Cleanse, Fold, and Mutilate. And I knew of Skinny Puppy back when Ministry and Nine Inch Nails were hugely popular. I knew of these guys. I never really explored their music, but later years I picked up some of their releases on CD and record. This is one I do not have, and well, now I can say I own it. Great band, great Canadian group. Next up, a band again, my buddy Joe has had this for sale a few times. I'm familiar with Paris Calling on here, the first track, but the rest of the material is going to be new to me. I know this one album comes pretty highly regarded as far as hard rock, hair metal from the late 80s, early 90s go. So I've got so much of that style music from back then, and then stuff that I picked up in the last 10 years or so. So I know that this will fit in great with the rest of my collection. And okay, these next two are heavy hitters, as Joe would say. This one, I do have, both of these I have on CD, but I just saw I needed to get vinyl copies, and especially this one before the prices start skyrocketing. And Megadeth, United, Abominations. I don't know that I could put this on the same level as Rust in Peace or Peace Sells, but it's pretty darn close. This lyrically, I love Washington Is Next, Sleepwalker, of course the title track, Blessed Are the Dead. I guess I could have done without the remake of Tant Le Monde, or however, I can't pronounce French, so but that track is I think like a duet on here, if I remember correctly. But Burnt Ice, just really killer, great. I guess we call that later day Megadeth. I mean, I don't know. It was released in 2019, so yeah, this is not too old. Or maybe that's a repress. Anywho, looking forward to the new album. I've not listened to any of the pre-release tracks or track from the new Megadeth, but I know Dave is going to make sure they go out with a bang, so that'll be great. And this last one I have to show, Candlemass, self-titled. Of course, not the original. This was when Markham, I'm going to butcher his name now, Messiah. You have to excuse brain cramp here, but the lead singer from their second singer, the one who came in during their their second, third, and fourth album, Messiah, came back. This was kind of a one-off with him. I think he had done Memento Mori for a couple of years, and he definitely just picked up right where they had left off in the early 90s with this. Even though their material in between with the different singers were great too. But this, Black Dwarves, Seven Silver Keys, Witches, Copernicus, Spellbreaker, and it looks like there's a bonus track on here, which I'll have to look. I don't know if that was on the original CD version I had, but this is a repress on Black on Black, or Back on Black. Not sure if it's colored. Doesn't, if it's black or white or any combination of those two, I think that'll be cool. But definitely glad to have this vinyl copy in my collection now. So again, as usual, thank you all for watching. Appreciate the support, or if you're just liking the video, that's cool. Thanks. If you haven't checked out Ron's page, which I'll put that down below, that's GTR Rock Realm. Recommend that you check us out on there. Usually Sunday nights. The guys, whatever combination of the 3 or 4, I guess I'm kind of a guest on there. We just pick a theme, pick a topic, and go from there, and it's a fun time. Usually it's anywhere from about half hour to maybe 45 minutes, so not too long. So it is the weekend here. If you're watching, have a great weekend. Thanksgiving's coming up for those of you Americans out there, so have a great Thanksgiving. God bless, and again, thanks for watching.